It's Matt's NFL football. Super Bowl 63.
Now the Michigan man, Jake Moody, to get us started. And off we go to wrap up a great Sunday of football. Stroud looks to throw on the first play. Over the middle, complete. It's Schultz. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Stroud working out of the gun, finding space at the 40, and finally down at the 41-yard line. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Stroud now on 1st and 10. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. From the 46, here's the 2nd and 8. Stroud will look to throw once more. That's caught again by Schultz. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. A shotgun snap to Stroud. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. They may have thrown the interception, obviously less than ideal, but I think they also sent a message that they're going to push the ball downfield in this one.
Yeah, not afraid to take their shots right away, huh? What was that, like a 9-9-9 route? 9 meaning go? Just went ahead and went for it. Didn't work out so well because it certainly appeared the defense was prepared. But I'm with you. Okay, so it didn't work this time. Doesn't mean we won't try it again later.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Another try for Guerrero. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Here's 3rd and 7. So now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now 3rd down and 7. They'll set up a throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A handoff running right, Guerrero. He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On play action, they'll throw. Steps away. He's got his target. That's complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
2nd and 7. They'll try the middle with Guerrero. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The biggest game, the biggest stage, Super Bowl 63, 1 quarter in the books. Can't wait to see what the 2nd quarter has in store. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the set, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. And Jake Moody now on for the field goal. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal. And
anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chat.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. And they put it on the ground here on the second drive. And, of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
Makes you wonder what's going on with this team, because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves, but maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it's the preparation for the game. Maybe they just came into a little lackadaisical, because that's just not looking good at all. That's just not the football that we came here to see.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half, as they're going to stop him behind the line.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Looking for the crossing receiver, and he's got him. It's Samuel. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Here's Garendo on first down. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. McCaffrey is in. Touchdown, 49ers.
Did my eyes deceive me, or was that an I formation play that was just run there for a touchdown?
A little old school eye.
How about that? Was that a fullback, tailback, running it into the end zone?
Well, that's what that fullback's for, right? That's why you use that. Let him pave the way.
Oh, without a doubt. He's an extra blocker, and he did his job well on that play.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Now Stroud. He finds his man, complete. It's Watkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. The left side, it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And his offense has been a little slow to get going, but some signs of life here in this second quarter. They're moving it pretty good, and that helps the cause as well. Good yardage and another first down.
On first down, here's Stroud. This is complete to Hawkins. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. And Stroud now to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Watkins. Touchdown, Texans. Quez Watkins, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Texans are on the board here in this Super Bowl. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Patterson back out there to send this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways. But right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now back to throw. And he lost the football, and the Texans scoop it. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So they recover their own fumble. Now they face 3rd and short. Handoff here, Guerrero. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
They go play action here on first down. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Back to throw here. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Jake Moody now on for the field goal. He connected on his first, this for 41. And his kick is right there. It's good, and the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3, and take some momentum into the locker room. They'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
And maybe that touchdown on the previous drive has re-energized this offense a little bit. They've been kind of sluggish until then, but they're showing signs of life here, and they get good yardage that time and a first down.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. These 2 teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Defensively, celebration time, because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
That is caught, and he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down. On the give, it's Garindo. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On second down, a run with Garindo. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. They'll send a receiver in motion left. 1st and 10, it's Stroud. He finds his man, complete. It's Hawkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47. Stroud out of the gun here. This will be caught by Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Again, it's Stroud. This will be caught once again by Brown. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. And it'll move the chains.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Stroud. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there.
60 Vikings, 7 Pirates.
They'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And unable to connect. They don't get the two-point conversion here. Well, they had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that two-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point? But after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for two and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Play action. Here's Stroud. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Here's Stroud. Going to throw right side here. Complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that will bring up 2nd down. Three quarters in the books. 1 to go here in Super Bowl 63 in that final frame after this timeout. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 5. In motion right is Watkins. Stroud to throw it. Looking left side, and it's complete. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. 49 yards. And the Texans have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And the tension ratcheting up all around. A one-score game. 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. This is what you folks came for. Every play with the potential to win or lose a title as they look to drain some time off this clock. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's into the hands of Pearsall on the right side. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The end result, 21 yards.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. From the 48-yard line, here's a 2nd and 4. Well, looks like they'll move things around here. Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw here. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
You need to get the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you just hold a slim lead. But that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And we're at the time of this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the 4th quarter as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Stroud from his own end zone. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Stroud. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And into the end zone, a pick-6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Moody good with the extra point, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick-6. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. They intercept Stroud again, the 3rd time in this game. It's Jair Brown who's got it. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
This has been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for them. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for them here.
McCaffrey on the counter. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there.
And this is seemingly how it's been all game long. This defense has been just a step too slow. And here they're burned again. Another big play.
Now it's Garindo. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. 2nd, 3rd guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Again, it's Garindo. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
On 3rd down, it's Guerrero. And he'll only get a couple here, and that'll bring up 4th down, and they'll have time to talk things over as we have reached the 2-minute warning.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Now Stroud. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
Here's Stroud. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the 1st down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
What a Super Bowl it's been to this point. Now a critical 3rd down here. Stroud to throw it.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked off by Caleb Farley. Well, obviously, Charles, this stage of the game, down 2 scores, they had to put the football in the air. Unfortunately, it gets picked off.
And the criticism comes easily in situations like this, but you just laid it out. Look where they are on the scoreboard. Look at where the clock is in the game. He has to take a chance here and try and get the ball downfield to his receivers. Unfortunately, it was picked off.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the 2nd half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
They'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. And this one is right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield at man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Again on second down, it's Stroud. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Stroud on third down now.
And my goodness, another interception.
Jair Elam makes a pick.
And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. And the San Francisco 49ers will hoist the Lombardi Trophy as Super Bowl champions. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all off season, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gunn. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.